So let's get on with Act 4. Now, as I said before, there's 6 acts in every level. The first 2 or 3 are usually about 3 minutes long, and the rest are ridiculously short, gimmicky levels. I mean, some of them can be finished in like 30 seconds, and it's just like, seriously? That short? Now obviously they couldn't create levels that just sort of went on and on and on and on and on, but it's just ridiculous to see how short some of them are. I mean, look, that's the end of the level. It just feels a bit ridiculous for how short some of the stages are. I mean, not that I would have wanted to be playing the game for like 20 odd hours, but that's probably the only thing that feels a little bit cheap about Colours, is that some of the acts are so short that it just seems kind of worthless. Now, as I'm sure you'll notice there, that is the Miles Electric from Unleashed, which is quite a nice little awesome nod to the old game.
I wish I knew what you were saying, little guy, or gal, or whatever you are.
I love Jacko, he's adorable.
Oh man, that was crazy!
Oh, I was reconfiguring my handheld into a translator so I can understand this guy. Did you go somewhere?
Didn't you see? I observed those aliens and got powered up with like some kind of wild energy.
The humour of this game is kind of childish, but the game is aimed at children. That's one of the major things that a lot of people don't quite get. Sonic is a kids' game, and this game sort of turned it back to what it used to be. It's a game that's meant to be played by children, and including incredibly overzealous, epic plots. Doesn't always work that well, especially when you're trying to do it with a blue hedgehog that talks. But one of the major contenders of this game is its humour. A lot of people aren't that keen on Colours' humour because it is so childish. If you take it as sort of adorable, then you're not really that bothered by it. Which is just how it should be. Now, the other thing that the Sign Wisps can do is they can bounce off walls, which is very helpful. And I just find it hilarious that sort of whenever Sonic does use a Wisp, you've got the announcer. And I think there was some confusion as to who the announcer was for a while, but it is Roger Craig Smith, so Sonic is officially announcing his own attacks before he does them. Which is just quite funny, really. Now, if you look around throughout the levels, then you'd be surprised, because Sonic Team have tried to render as much as possible. I remember it from an article I read somewhere about Colours. But one of the major things that they tried to do was they tried to render as much as possible to make it look like a proper 3D game and look spectacular, rather than just having a couple of pre-rendered bits, which might not have looked nearly as impressive. Now, as I said before about the red rings, I want going to try and collect as many as possible, but it's not really going to matter that much. Basically what they do is they unlock levels in Gameland, which is a little extra thingy, and after you've collected them all and completed all the levels in Gameland, then you unlock the you can unlock Supersonic to play the levels. You're not getting it, so you can bugger that if you think I'm going to try, but yeah, getting all the red rings unlocks levels in Gameland, unlocks you Supersonic in levels, which is quite awesome. The only level that does that, really, which is quite surprising. Now, at the start of each level, you will get a little thing at the top that says what wisps are included in the level. But I don't think some of them are mentioned until they are actually unlocked. Which is one of the things that I quite like about things, is that you can go back to the levels time and time again, and they're always slightly different. Because you gain wisps as you go along, and you get the chance to see all these different parts of the levels that you couldn't see before, which is quite cool. Now, trust me, that red ring can cause immediate death if you are not careful. Now, I think one of the newest things about Colours is Sonic's Door Jump. It's the only game that he's ever been able to do it in, and I'm kind of in two minds about it, because it does let him get across. Wait, sometimes it just feels a little bit closer, if you get what I mean. Not quite, they didn't quite get it right. It's disappointing, but kind of expected, I guess. You can't really blame them for that. It's something new with the mechanics. It's not going to feel perfect the first time to try it. And now we're about to go into the first boss, which is kind of a bit anticlimactic. But yeah, these things happen. Yeah. But we've got a lot to talk about with this first boss. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, let's go.
23, 24, 25.
Here we have the brilliant Eggman in his first proper appearance in the game. And he's awesome.
No, I want you to get me a cheeseburger and a shake.
Ah, sarcasm.
Cheeseburgers don't run as fast as them little alien varmints.
Now basically, you've got Bullbot as the straight man and Cubot as the dumb man.
Y'all want fries with that?
Now, one of the things that I find hilarious is that Cubot, it has lots of sentences that aren't actually subtitled. He's the only character for which that happens, which is pretty interesting.
I'll harness their hyper-go-on power.
Hyper-go-on power, yes. You didn't make that up on the fly, did you, Eggman?
But this time, really, nothing will stop
Tempting fate.
What?
See,
Sonic!
Who you calling nothing?
I just find it really odd that they've included that Japanesey spanking thing. Western characters don't do that, but it's kind of adorable, really, because it's keeping Sonic Japanesey but Western at the same time. It's quite fun. Oh, the big boy. Oh, really?
Bye-bye, suckers! And
here we go. This is the big boy, or as the soundtrack calls him, Rotatatron. With Eggman's glorious theme. Which is just epic. It's the one thing that is so great that they kept. Finally. Anyway, the other major flaw of Sonic Colors is that its bosses are kind of sucky. In the fact that they're really short and not that interesting. I mean, they've got awesome music. I mean, this one is done by Tomoyo Watani as well. But it's so short. I mean, you can get it done far quicker than I do. Because that's sort of like the one really annoying bit about the thing. It's like less than 30 seconds and he's dead. It's only 2 if you do hit his hands with the Cyan Wisp, but considering he had such that epic introduction, he's just such a wimp. It's just annoying. It did not take me 40 seconds, thank you very much. It took me 28. But it took until after it stopped spouting out all the coin rings and stuff, so yeah. Got an A on the first boss, could have done an S, right? Yeah. And this is the first cutscene to ever be shown in Sonic Colors. I think it perfectly symbolises Colors in its entirety. It's got the humour, it's got the relationship between Sonic and Tails, it's got the ongoing joke of the translator,
It's in binary code, so only I can read it.
Oh, how nice of you, Tails.
Okay,
You can just put it in English and make it simple.
Who are you, and what is happening to your people?
Okay, he says his name is Talks a Lot, and he's from a faraway soda, and where flowers water them with dances.
Yeah, I think your machine still has some bugs.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think I can figure this out, though.
Through logic.
Hey, he said his name is Yakka.
So yes, this is a
It's from
Yakka.
a race of beings called wisps.
Wisps?
No,
Wisps.
with a W.
Yeah, I'll just stick with
Ah,
aliens
the
if
fourth
that's okay
wall.
with everybody.
The fourth wall is broken. Badly.
They're either
So we had a moonwalk,
used for their
about breaking the fourth
magical
wall.
powers by an
Oh,
evil
God.
man, or to make underwear to be worn by Salad. Can it just hear
And just,
save
it's
them,
all
save
like
them
cartoon
over
little
and
sound
over?
effects that really highlight colours
When
is,
I was running around trashing robots, I saw a map that had a couple
how
of
this
interesting
cartoony
places.
nature, really,
I'll
so...
go check them out, and maybe
Yeah.
save some aliens.
But I do love the soundtrack, and... Well,
The mouse man said to wrangle every piece of this mess. When you consider
And-
what we're doing from a robot's
yeah.
point of view, it's actually pretty gruesome.
it is, actually. But yes, this is why Allbot and Cubot are such comic relief. Now, one thing that not many people might realise is that there's throwbacks to Scratch and Grounder from Sonic the Animated Series, which is quite cool. Oh, tempting fate again. Now, when I first saw this cutscene, I didn't actually realise that this, which it's pointing at, is the arm from the boss that we just murdered. I just thought, oh, it's just something that ended up there, I don't know what it is. But it's the arm that we just blew off the robot, and it's important, remember that. Haha.